Hi, I'm Stephen. I'm the Specialist Support Team Manager here at Bright Futures Care.
And I'm Jenny Dunbobbin. I'm one of the PBS leads at Bright Futures. So within Bright Futures, we have a range of different sites. That includes, we have our education sites, which we can have day placements as well as residential placements. And then we have our children's residential homes and our adults' residential homes.
So at Bright Futures, we support people who are described as having complex needs. That often looks like people having a diagnosis of a learning disability or autism, and they may have additional needs as a result of this, such as sensory processing delays and communication difficulties. We utilise a model of PBS, which stands for Positive Behaviour Support. So the model we use in Bright Futures is a positive behaviour support model. So what that looks like in practice is we use a tiered model of support, and that's based on people's quality of life. So when people are placed in tier 1, that's when we have no concerns about someone's quality of life, whereas when they're placed in tier 2, we might have some level of concerns and we have an enhanced level of support. Whereas in tier 3 is when we have further concerns around a person's quality of life, and we intensify our support based on people's needs. We also use a person-centred planning model and framework within Bright Futures, and what that looks like, it's called the STRIVE framework, and that stands for social, therapeutic, relationships, independence, vocational and empowerment. And what that looks like is our goal setting around person-centred planning, and how we kind of make sure we have a variety of different kind of topics and goals that we're setting out for people to improve their quality of life.
So from a PBS point of view, the job role can change and vary very much day to day. I think it's looking at each site and what they need for each individual that they support, whether that's an education or residential site from where we look at. Obviously utilising the PBS model, that's bringing in from the referral system that we have, also looking at the Great Care offer, and that can identify kind of where us as a team can go in and identify where we can look at creating those outcomes and having the outcome measures to ensure that we're enhancing the quality of life. So that can be from going into sites to offer some coaching, practice leadership. It can be spending time completing observations that will then support the people that we're supporting when we're then coaching the staff. And we're able to also analyse all the data, and that's looking at all the different ways and different patterns that are then brought up of what we can put in place to then support the individuals. I think, as we said before, we've realised so much that the impact on the people that we support is so much down to sometimes the staff morale and where the staff feel. So it's trying to get that balance of how we support the staff team, which will then in turn help the people that we're supporting. So like we said, that can be sometimes just going in and kind of, sometimes people just want to know that they're doing the right thing. So it can be from that point of view. Or sometimes we can analyse all the data and we can go in then with an action plan already to try to really help them with that. Or sometimes it's a case of we do some observations and we pick different things up, or different teams are doing things slightly different. So it's how we bring them all back together, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Particularly if there's sites that are if there's a certain individual that's in crisis, sometimes it's just about bringing that team together and us being able to help them take that step back and really identify the key outcomes and really break down the small steps, because sometimes people really want to jump as far ahead as possible, isn't it? And it's kind of going, we're not there, let's celebrate the small steps of where we are.
Yeah, so it's essentially about supporting the supporter, essentially.